special Ask Susan Sunday Live, the place to be every Sunday. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Congruent Living, the place to be for seekers, for creatives, for people who are asking for more, to live a joy-filled life that is actually contributing to them, the world, the planet, and so much more. My name is Susan Lazar Hart, your expert in congruency coaching, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Patricia. So as you come on in, tell us where you're from. Hey, Claudia. And let's just for today, it feels like it's in the air. Hey, Rika, what are you grateful for today? Just pop it in. I am so grateful I found a whole bunch of kiboshes in my business. So for instance, for those of you who've been asking me, Susan, tell me more about the Welcome Home coaching program you created on Facebook. Well, it looked like Facebook Messenger got a little bit wonky today and yesterday and the day before and the day before. So if I didn't respond, please ask me again. There was a glitch in my Facebook Messenger matrix. So for those of you interested in this amazing new program that I'm working with my clients already, it's called Welcome Home Coaching, and it's about welcoming you to you. Right, to what you always known was possible. And well, I put the link up here, so just go check it out and ask me questions. Let me know what's popping for you. The second glitch was on my YouTubes that I've been doing Ask Susan for about 5 years, and we put them right into an Ask Susan TV YouTube so everybody can see them. And I saw at the end, after the welcome was the Ask Susan of the day, and at the end there was just letting you know where to go for more. Only whoever had created it so many years ago spelt my name S-U-Z or Z-A-N, not S-U-S-A-N. So I was so grateful. There's been a tug in my universe to please pay attention to what's going on in the business of being you, of getting yourself out there, of how can I best serve the people that I'm working with. And so that YouTube channel has been tugging at me for 2 weeks, and I'm like, yeah. And then yesterday it was like, holy moly. So that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the awarenesses that have me actually in line with who I'm creating with, how I'm creating with, and all the possibilities. So, hey, Sonia from Switzerland. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Patty. Hi, everybody who's popping on. Yay. I put a few questions up. Hey, Teresa. I put a few questions up during the week about your foundation. How's your foundation going? Have you had any aha moments in creating your foundation? Hey, Millie. Hi. It's so important for those of you who are just coming in to Ask Susan. I know we've got lots of new members this week. Check out the part 1 of this conversation that we're having about foundation. It could be something totally different than what you thought your foundation was. The questions were, who are you building your foundation for? What is that like for you? I asked you to sit with it, be with it, see what's working, let what isn't working go, and then truly ask yourself, what is my foundation created with and from? Right? That actually works in alignment with who I be, and what I'm asking to put out in the world, and what I came here to this planet to be and do, right? So gratitude was a big one for me, and that's why I thought I'll start off the show with what are you grateful for, and playing with what I'm grateful for, right? Because it's about being really present with what it is your foundation is built from. So for instance, if gratitude is part of your foundation, right? Are you in your every moment of your life, are you in gratitude? And how does that play in with how you're creating with the future possibilities, right? And how is that congruent with what you're asking to create? So, hey, Erica, Millie, we have a question. Yay. So an awareness. So many ahas about, hey, Janet, so many ahas about what foundations I function from. Not so much awareness about what my foundation is yet. Well, here's a little trick. If you have an awareness of what your foundation is created from, right? And then you kind of take an aerial view of how you're creating, who you're creating with, what futures are you creating with, and ask is this in alignment, right? That's what congruency is. Congruency is an alignment with what you're asking to create, what you are creating, and who you be. Because everything you're creating, we're asking it to nurture you, right? Nurture you, you nurture your relationships. Nurture your relationships, you nurture your money flows. Nurture your money flows, you nurture your joy. Nurture your joy, you're nurturing the planet, because the planet loves joy. Are you getting how this works? Hey, Trisha. Yeah. So, Millie, when you said thank you so much, Millie. I love your vulnerability. When you said I'm not so much aware of what my foundation is yet, truth, have we been taught to not be aware of what our foundation is? Right? Look at the influx of information that comes in in a nanosecond in this reality. We are bombarded. Right? That's the target of this reality, is to keep you from being you. Right? So that's probably a whole nother discussion. So if you're actually aware of what isn't working for you, are you willing to be aware of what is working for you, what you do create from? Right? Yeah. Millie says, congruency is an alignment with who I be. Absolutely. Yes, you got it, baby. Janet, I have a big heart from Janet. That's right. So for myself, when I discovered all these glitches this week in my Facebook and where the videos were going and what's on my website, I've been asking for clarity, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it takes, no matter how it arrives. Right? Gratitude is part of my foundation. So instead of saying, oh, that bugger, I can't believe he did that. No, that was, where was I in my awareness? Right? Oh, I was in a distraction. Cool. Distraction is not part of my foundation. It used to be part of my foundation. Right? I would go for every bright, shiny object until I realized I had this capacity to be aware of everything at the same time. And then I could say, oh, wow, I'm getting all of this information at the same time. What's my focus right now? What's my priority? Right? Am I congruent with what I'm asking to focus on? Are my actions, my deeds, who I be, how I be in the world, how I be with everybody else, congruent to what I'm asking to focus on? Okay, let's take a pulse on this conversation. And if you're new to Ask Susan, this is a conversation, not a monologue or a dialogue. So please jump in with your ahas, with your questions, and with anything else that pops for you. So we're going to do a little pulse check. Are we in the right lane here? Can I see some yeses, some nos? Love these questions, Janet says. Thanks so much, Janet. Yeah. Yep. It's a really important thing to be aware of. When something isn't working for you, take an aerial view and ask, what is it that I've been asking for? Jamie, I got a thumbs up. What is it that I've been asking for? And am I willing to receive the information? Again, this reality is based on commodification. Right? You've got to pay for everything that you know or you don't know. You've got to pay do you ever hear that expression? You got to pay for what you did, right? As if punishment was a reward. So everywhere you're punishing yourself by not peeling away the layers of what truly turns you on. Well, I was going to say tunes you up, right? What tunes turn you on? What music are you listening to? The music of life and living, right? Are you being willing to be generous with yourself? Is generosity part of your foundation? Right? So if generosity is part of your foundation, we've just talked about gratitude is part of your foundation. Are you creating in a way that's congruent with you being generous in every way, right? Hi, Teresa. This morning, it's a little bit chilly in Montreal, and it was like hot as hello yesterday. I mean, going from one extreme to the other. And when I was walking Shiloh, there's an attendant by the park that I walk my dog in. And she's there at 7 in the morning and she's shivering. And I asked her, how long are you here till? And she said, till 2 o'clock. I said, it's really cold. And she goes, yeah, it's really cold. So I thought, on the way home, I'm like, how can I assist her in her life and living? She's here for everybody else. So I've realized I have a down vest that doesn't even fit me anymore. So I was like, oh, it was calling me. So I took it back to the park and I gave it to her. And at the same time, I brought a big box of books that I'm not using anymore, and I put it in the park as well. And she was so grateful. She was like, oh, I can't believe you came and gave me this. That's who we be. That's our foundation. Our foundation is awareness. What is it that this person requires? You know, when walking the dog, I was asking, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to perceive, know, be, and receive what's being required of me today? What if it's as simple as giving somebody a down vest that you don't even use anymore? And I put the box of books there, and I turn around, and someone's dog is peeing on the books. And I'm like, that made me laugh, right? That made me laugh. Laughter is part of my foundation. So you see how this goes? Right? Okay, everybody, love this, Susan. Everybody's been writing in. I'm just going to reread some stuff here. Millie, big aha. My work is a distraction. Well, yes. Okay, so let's ask some questions about that. I'm going to ask you to take an aerial view of what you call your work. Right? Now, what is it that you're asking of your work to be? I know, no one ever asked that question. What is it you're asking of your work to be? What have you decided work is that it isn't? What have you decided work isn't that it is? Right? That's a kind of question that will have you tapping into what's congruent for you. Oh, does this match my foundation? Like, I was born talking. It's like when I was doing my master's in painting, people used to say, you should be a psychotherapist or a psychologist, because we'd be sitting around the table, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, chatting away. And it's like there's always been something about me in my universe that has me tapping into people, knowing where they're coming from, knowing what's required, and talking to how and what they can hear. Right? So there's a congruency there. There's a thread that's been all of that and more as I've continued in all the different jobs and work that I do. So when I was traveling around the world for about 14 years, playing with Right Relationship for You, playing with consciousness, and as I chose to work from my home base, I asked, okay, so what's being required of me now? So you see, it's not about deciding what our work is or isn't. Is there a congruency in how you play, how you create, what you're asking to create, in what you be and do? And if not, the question is to ask, does this work for me? What joy is there for me in what I do? And how can I create it in a different way that it actually gifts me what I'm asking for? So, Millie, let me know if that assists you. Questions, anybody? Anything about congruency? My daughter reads my newsletters. One of my daughters reads my newsletters. I have her just go over the editing of it, seeing if it makes sense. And she says, Mom, this is such a big topic. I said, I know. People are asking for it. And it could be we have a part 3. Let me know what's popping for you, right? What is it that you're asking for? And what if it's already here? Hey, Sandy, welcome, welcome, right? What if it's already here? Because the truth is, it is. And that's why I say it's just about peeling off the layers. It's like, would you walk around wearing an uncomfortable coat all the time? Right? So how many of you have layered yourself with this reality, have layered yourself with what your work is, what a job is supposed to be, what your foundation is supposed to be? And now once you're taking off these layers, it's just a bit uncomfortable. Well, what if that was what was so funny? Because how many of you are loyal to the uncomfortableness of holding on to the comfortableness of what isn't working, rather than stepping into that zone of like, holy moly, I don't know if I'm going to fall or fly, but I'm sure going to try. Right? Lots of questions. Cool, cool, cool. I got hearts from Sandy. Janet, how do you stay on your congruency? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Patricia, does this work for me? got a whole lot of obligations. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, I love that. Yep, yeah. Janet, I get distracted. How do you stay on your congruency? Okay, so Janet, and for everybody else who's listening, and if you're listening later, press hashtag replay. If you've got a question that's coming in later, let me know. I check in on this every day. That's what congruent living is about. It's about checking in on what's working and what's not working. So, Janet, I think I just answered your question. It's not about staying on anything. Right? Congruency, it's who you be. Right? Like a little child will let you know right away if they don't like what they're eating. Right? They'll let you know right away with their attention span. Because they're, I'm thanks, that was 2 seconds, I'm curious about this, and I'm going to, but congruency is curiosity in a child. So at what age did you decide you had to stay on something? You feel how that just like it's taking something like a balloon that keeps growing and growing and growing and popping it. Because you got every point of view you have, that if you let your congruency float and expand, instead of staying on it, that it would pop and it wouldn't be you anymore. Yeah, Janet says. Yeah. The thing is, and then Janet says, I get distracted. Well, how much have you built into your foundation distraction? So, what do you mean by that, Susan? Well, for myself, I was always encouraged to be creative. I was never encouraged to actually finish anything. So it worked for me because I manipulated everybody around me to finish things for me. Pretty smart, right? When it stopped working for me was when I actually gave the leadership of being me to somebody else. So when you're distracted, ask yourself, oh, have I lost focus of where I'd like to go, how I'd like to go, and who I'm asking to be? Janet, let me know if that helps you, and for everybody else, let's have a little pulse check. Are you with me? Oh, I got a thumbs up on that. Are you with me on this? Right? When you say, oh, I get distracted, because a lot of my clients come in and that's their first thing is, oh, what would you like to create in 6 months? This and this and this and that and this, which is cool. What's your priority? Oh, well, that's no fun. It's more like, I want to be a millionaire and I want to travel and I want to do this and oh, but focusing isn't fun. Well, I'd rather be distracted. If I'm distracted, then I actually don't have to create what I say I want to create. Hey, I'll own that one. That was a big one of mine. Uber creators, right? Raise your hands. Yeah. So if the thing is, if you ask yourself, okay, what are the false priorities here? What are the real priorities here? And what is it that I'm asking to focus on? Because focus isn't narrow. Focus can be wide, right? So when I asked this morning, I'd like to focus on what it is that I'm willing to be, know, and perceive and receive today, and what is being asked of me today. Now, did I know that I'd be giving somebody a down jacket at 7 in the morning? No, but my awareness was, oh, I could actually change into somebody's world like this. Cool. I'm asking for that information today. Who knows what else is possible? Cool. Okay, let me see some hearts. Are you getting a sense of what congruency is? Yep? Yes? Okay. Everybody else, are you getting a sense of what congruency is? Congruency is not a thing. It's a way of being in the world. Yeah, okay, cool. Yay, I got lots of hearts. Thank you so much. Because if we're not clear, let me know. Because this is so important. It's so important. Knowing who you be and the foundation that is, foundation shift and change. Are you creating a foundation that's working for you? If you're not, and if you're like, dang, that's me, contact me. Let's private message me. This new pilot program I'm creating, it's about coming home to you. It's about welcome home to you, who you truly be, not the you that you covered yourself up with that you had to be for everyone else. I'm so excited about it. I have the link up there or down there, wherever it is. It's on there. Janet, others' judgments take me off my trajectory, then second guessing my knowing. Again, I love that. Thank you so much, Janet. Has your foundation been built on pleasing others? See, it's that simple. It's like, okay, so if others' judgments have taken me off my trajectory, what's the truth with a lie attached here? And what's the lie with the truth attached here? Oh, am I addicted to pleasing others? And who does that belong to? Who did I buy that from? See how that flows? You see, Janet says, bingo! Yeah. It's about, that's why I please encourage you to take an aerial look. Millie says, yes, I'm getting there. Okay, Millie, if you have more questions, ask me. You know, when one person has a question, it opens up everything for everyone else. Truly, truly, truly. Yeah. So again, a foundation is not something solid. You can, look at that foundation. When an earthquake comes, the foundation is often the first thing to break open. So how many of you are at a place in your life right now where the earth is quaking in so many different ways? And your foundation is breaking in so many different ways. Well, what are the pieces of your foundation that actually create with you, create for you, create with your future? Right? What congruency in how you're playing, who you're playing with, and what you came here to be and do, what's that alignment with your foundation? Yeah, that's what I'm asking of you today. Oh, I got lots of hearts. Thank you so much. Thanks. Any other questions here? Again, take the time for you today. Gift yourself this time. Take an aerial view of how you're creating. Does it bring you joy? Is it bringing the change that you're asking for you in the world? Because it's important for you to see that we've been taught don't be selfish. It's not about you first. Hey, Mary. It's about you being present, right, with what brings you joy. If you're creating in a way that brings you joy, again, everything, you're like the little pebble in the water that, the pond, the ripples of your relationship, of your money flows, of your health, of your body. That ripples out in who you be and what you be. So you're creating from a place of generosity. You're creating from a place of joy. That's the truth is that's who you be. Your foundation is not built on distractions. If you're looking at your foundation, you're like, whoa, there's anger, there's rage, there's distraction, there's scarcity. Ask yourself, how is it working for you, and who does all of that belong to? If you're building your foundation right now, and you are, because we're having this conversation, and you wouldn't be on this call if you weren't interested in creating greater. Yeah? Thumbs up? Who's interested in creating greater? Let me see a thumbs up or a heart there. Yeah. This is where we begin. Right? And take this time. What's my foundation? Educate yourself. Listen to this again. Listen to the Ask Susan from last Sunday, where we talk about foundations. And then ask, okay, is this an alignment? Again, congruency means I'm in alignment with my foundation. I'm in alignment with everything I be and do. There's a wholeness to everything that I'm playing with. It's connected. There's a connection here. Yeah. Hi, Jim. Okay. Sonia, what is congruency? Congruency is what I am. Sorry, hold on a second. Please, they're skipping along. Thank you for everybody coming in with your questions. Congruency is what I am, being on the inside, and authentically is how I show up on the outside. Sonia, I just talked about congruency. Tell me if this is still relevant, this question. What is congruency? Congruency is alignment. There's no inside-outside, okay? You're an infinite being. We're taught in this reality there's the inside and the outside, right? congruency is it's the connection of everything you be and do that moves with ease, so you know where you're going, what you're doing, and just for this nanosecond, it's in alignment. It could you could put something out there. I often do that. I'll put something out there and I'm like, oh, that actually I was creating that for somebody else. So that actually wasn't congruent with who I be and what I be. I don't really want to be doing it like that or that way. I'm not that person anymore. Like somebody said to me, so when are you going to be traveling all over the world and visiting cities and every other week a different city? And I said, no, thank you. And they said, well, would you like to change that? Would you like to clear that? They weren't actually listening to who I be right now, right? That was fun for me for 14 years. Right now, I'm creating in a totally different way, adoring every moment of it. And who knows how I'll be creating 3 years from now. I'm looking out 2 years from now, and the traveling I do will be with Ricky. Will I be teaching? Perhaps as I travel. It's not my priority. Is not to hit a different city every week. That was his priority. Right? Had nothing to do with my universe and who I be. So congruency is what I'm being at the inside, and authentically is how I show up on the outside. I love that, Sonia. Thank you. I just got another layer of that. So if you're actually willing to be congruent, it's like when I'm asking, when I gave that person the down vest this morning, I wasn't asking, oh, on the outside I'm being generous, on the inside I'm being congruent. No, it was like, oh, wow, here's a person who's cold. I have something for her that she can wear. I only live a few blocks away, and, I can offer it. That's all it was. That's who I be, right? I have a generosity of spirit. Is it on the outside? Is it on the inside? It's who I be. Tell me if this is making sense, Sonia, please. And for everybody else, Millie, I find I'm reluctant. To choose to create the life I would like to live. I avoid focus and choose greater and distract myself with all sorts of unproductivity on the internet. Okay, so here's a little clue for everybody. The internet's made to make money off of you losing focus. Wow. Right? That's what that Facebook has makes its money depending on you losing focus. And spoiler alert, every time you just flip through Facebook, like 20 minutes have passed, you're telling your body, this feels good, let's do more of this. So after a while, you just get up and your body reaches for your smartphone and starts to flip through Facebook because you've told your body this is comforting. So that's a habit. It's a habit. So what's a greater habit you could create? No, thank you. I'm going to meditate instead of picking up the phone. No, thank you. I'm going to keep some really interesting reading right next to the bathroom. And I'm going to pick that up instead of flipping through my Facebook when I'm sitting on the toilet. Whatever that is for you. No, thank you. I'm going to create a greater habit. I'm going to educate myself. Flipping through Facebook, for the most part, is a way to null your brain. Null your brain tells your body, you take over. So that's an interesting distraction. Remember that. I learned so much on I'll like even today I learned about the people from another planet, who came to this planet. Oh, that felt light. I listened to a little bit of Abraham. I did something out in the sunshine with my crystals that I was listening to on somebody else's Facebook site. When you use it as a distraction. So this morning I educated myself, I did a little reading, I did some meditating, I was out in the sun, I did something with my crystals. It brought me joy, right? So when you say, oh, I'm so always distracted, ask yourself, have you built in distraction as your foundation? As a young child, were you taught to be distracted so you wouldn't be aware of what was going on, and yet you were aware all the time? Again, how much of this reality breeds distraction? So you have something to work on rather than creating something greater. Millie, let me know if that assists you. Hey, Camilla. Hey, Jim. Sonia. Oh, la, la, la. What a freedom. Thank you, Millie. Yes, Pleiadians. You got it. That was really... Did you see that too? That was very interesting. So, how we doing? How we doing? Are we fried? Are we good? Are you leaving today with a sense of possibilities, of shifting and changing your foundation, of creating with your foundation, of acknowledging, wow, my foundation actually really works for me. Right? That's pretty cool. That's how many of you came in with a really amazing foundation, and it just kind of got destroyed all the way along. And yet, because you're living a congruent life, you're able to be aware of what works and what doesn't work for you. Yeah. Okay. I adore you all. If you want to continue this conversation, let me know on Facebook, on the Ask Susan Facebook. We can always have a part 3. If there's something else you want to be, having a conversation about, talk to me. Right? Write it on Facebook. Let me know what this reality sucks. Millie says, it actually doesn't. It's not my reality. This reality sucks if you buy it as true and real. Here's the deal. You're magic. You can change it. You can change your life. You can change your living. You can play with the powers of consciousness, the light keepers, whoever they are, right? And stop giving your energy to this reality. This reality only thrives on the energy of destruction. So if you're willing to acknowledge what brings you joy, how you create and who you create with, and what that could be, and the different you came to be here, that's where you play. What if this reality wasn't real at all? I wonder what that could be like. Millie, can you repeat some questions to find my foundation? Millie, listen again to this call. Listen again to go look back on last Sunday's call. Okay, it's on Ask Susan TV. If you go to Ask Susan TV, you'll see every single Ask Susan we've had, and they're all in order. If you go to my blogs on SusanLazarHart.com, right on the blog will be the newsletter I write and the Ask Susan TV. It'll take you to where you need to go. Yeah, thank you so much. Says Sonia. Janet, thank you so much. You are so welcome. I adore you all. Please check out Welcome Home, Coming Home Coaching. Again, if you go to SusanLazarHart.com, you'll find all the blogs. You'll find all the Ask Susans. You will find my new pilot project that I'm working with that I'm so excited about with Welcome Home Coaching. And I'd love to hear what pops for you. Read it. Talk to me. Tell me, what is it that you require? And let's see what we can change together. Until then, bye-bye, Jim. Live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader you came here to be. Right? One that's actually willing to be congruent with those miraculous, brilliant qualities of who you truly be. Thank you so much. Millie says, thank you, Susan. These conversations are such a contribution. Totally fried. You are so welcome. Mwah. I love it, and I'm so grateful for all of you popping in. And remember, you came here to shout out loud, as Emile Zola said, right? So be that. Be that, right? The world needs more of you and not less of you. You're so welcome. Thank you so much, Maureen. And I will see you next Sunday. In the meantime, tell your friends. You know what they say, when 2 or more are gathered, what can we all change together? Bye-bye.